look what time it is. Another GHPC development stream, this time for January 2025. I am joined today by Harry and Blake.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
As usual, if there are any audio issues, let us know right now because we are going to get into some stuff. So, GHPC. This is a tank sim light based in the mid-1980s, a Cold War gone hot, set in divided Germany, East versus West. And up until now, we've only had 3 forces fighting in this game. We've had the United States, we've had East Germany, and we've had the USSR, Soviet Union. So there's something missing. As I'm sure you guys are aware, there's one more combatant in that mix, and that is West Germany. Where have they been all this time? They've been cooking, and now some of it's ready to go. Let's take an early look at West Germany, shall we? As soon as my game loads. You can enjoy the screenshots in the carousel until then, while I set up this level. Actually, you know what? Let's just go straight to game view. That's fine.
You're gonna show them a menu?
Yep. Which pile of letters and numbers should I go with?
Just get the first one.
Just the first one. Okay.
Yep. Don't show them any other ones.
No?
Well.
It was already too late, Border. Alright, while this loads, I'll just make a quick comment. If you are new to this game and you're wondering what's going on, we have an FAQ on the website that has all of the basic stuff answered, and better than I can on the spot on stream. So if you're wondering something like, what is this game, or can we get T80U, or whatever, then pull that up and read it, and you'll find, if you search your keyword, you'll probably get an answer. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm loading up one of our existing missions in the mission customizer system so that I can play it with a new vehicle. And this vehicle is the Leopard A1A1. Yes, that's the real name. Back when they first released it, there was no Leopard 2, so this was just called the Leopard A1A1. Doesn't make it much better, but slightly. This is armed with 105mm cannon, just like the M60 and the early Abrams. And it has a new type of rangefinder that we have not seen before in GHPC. This is a stereoscopic rangefinder. So at first glance, you'd think this is similar to an optical coincidence rangefinder with these 2 ports on the sides of the turret. That is not exactly the case, and I will show what I mean in a moment here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let the audio be loud for a sec so I can show you guys the engine. That is a recording of a, what was it, Harry, a Gepard?
Yeah, it was a Gepard.
Yeah, it's the same chassis as the Leopard 1, so this is the real thing. Anyway, Leopard 1 has a unique type of rangefinder, and I'm going to try to get some sight lines with it while we're not in contact with the enemy, if I can. Let's go down here. So the coincidence rangefinders in GHPC already have an operating principle where you have 2 different images from each side of the tank, and you coincide them. Either you have the ghost images and you match them up to get the range, or you have the split top and bottom and you line up the target. That's what coincidence means. It's making them match. Stereoscopic rangefinder is the other kind of optical rangefinder, and this uses a principle that is impossible to show on a flat screen, unfortunately. What it does is it gives you binocular vision, but exaggerated by the distance between the eyepieces. And you focus on the target, and there's a reticle that is projected to look like it's in 3D space in front of you. So as soon as you see the reticle floating on the target in space, and your eyes are focused on the target, you know you have the range set correctly. Now I can't show you focusing in 3D space on a screen. We can't do that. So we have a workaround. The workaround is in two parts. One is forced depth of field, where we really exaggerate the blurriness of whatever's out of focus. And the other is we do a little bit of camera move, a little bit of head bob, and we project the reticle out to the target distance. And if you see the target and the reticle moving exactly the same, you know you have the range. With the combination of both of those things, it's actually pretty usable. Let's make sure we have a good... Let's go for this tree. I'm trying to range this tree. I turn on my rangefinder, it's immediately blurry. I'm going down, it's not getting better. I'm going up. Oh, there's a little range where it's in focus. I put this mark, the ranging mark, on the tree. I see that it's not moving on the tree as the camera wiggles. I'm confident in my range.
Wheel it back in so they can see the difference.
Yeah. Let's see. Right, so we go back down. Minimum range setting. If you notice, the range mark is actually drifting on the tree right now. It's very subtle. We can't make this too exaggerated because it's not a real thing. Your head doesn't bob when you're in a tank for no reason. But this is just to try to show depth. It's there's not much we can do with one perspective. But you can see the range mark is just moving around on that tree, and the tree is also way out of focus, so I know this is not the right range. And as I walk it out to the correct range, I get that focus, and I get the movement locked in. And now I know that I'm on target. And there's a little bit of parallax, but, you know, this is the correct range. So let me restock my DM23. The ammo load of this vehicle. Now the actual amount is still being worked on here, but in general we have 3 different types of ammunition that can be carried. We have the subcaliber rounds, the sabos, either DM13 APDS, which is not that great for the 80s, or DM23 APF SDS, which is pretty good. Roughly in the M774, M735 performance range. And then we have a heat round, which is a German copy of the M456, very familiar to the NATO players. And then we have something new, this green one. This is a high explosive squash head round, HESH. This is a new kind of round in GHPC with a very interesting mechanic. When it strikes the target, the warhead deforms. It's a plastic explosive or something similar to one. And as soon as it's deformed, it detonates. And the force of that detonation blasts a scab of metal off the backside of the armor plate. And that is your damaging spall. Now we have read the reports on how this works. We've studied the tests. We've got a formula for it now. And I think it performs pretty well. It's not going to work against very thick armor. It's not going to work against very sloped armor because it can't properly squash. And it will not work against composite armor because the layering of composite armor absorbs the scabbed metal from the first layer. But against medium thickness or low thickness homogeneous plate, it's devastating. It does something interesting. Unlike most of the rounds in GHPC, which when they penetrate the armor, they pierce through and then the spall goes in mostly the same direction that the round was going, but normalized a bit, right? That's kind of your range that you expect. HESH is different. When it detonates on the surface, it creates a scab that's mostly in the normal direction, the back face direction of the armor. So you get some angle trick shots with your Spall if you hit a good HESH shot. And that's always interesting to see. But enough talk. Let's start fighting. This tank is not well armored by tank standards. This is a fast, light, and medium to thin armored tank. And I'm probably going to get rinsed. I gotta try not to.
You got a late production Lot 1 as well, by chance.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over the German screaming. Alright, here we go. So this is a chance to make sure I can do this range finding. This guy's off in the distance. I already know this is the T-72. I've got him in focus now. I can take the shot. I actually like this rangefinder quite a bit compared to the coincidence ones. That combination of the depth of field and the little movement and just the fact that it's a new thing that I'm not used to, it's very fun. I've been testing this a lot and enjoying it. What else have we got? This tank is quick. It has smoke obscuration. It's got an MG3 for its coaxial gun. You guys probably noticed when I was shooting. It's very quick. Oh, I'm still ranged for the next country. Alright, here we go. Yep, the buzzsaw. That's always fun. Let's go find something that can shoot back and see if I survive this. It's a tradition of GHPC developer streams that I get my ass kicked in front of a crowd.
You're doing better.
I'm taking fire, or one of my guys is taking fire. Gonna say that is this BMP. My crew haven't noticed him yet. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I'm gonna advance a little and put a dart through him if he's still up. I think he's dead. Yeah. Alright. I need to survive. Oh. Gotta watch out for those BMPs. They can take out an M60, let alone a Leopard 1. That 73mm is no joke. Anyway, I'm gonna restock while I wait for my troops to advance, because we have the German M113. This is a local... It's not really a copy, it's just straight up an M113. But they did some adjustments to it. They have the MG3 on the cupola. They have some West German lamps, the headlights and taillights and all that stuff. We've got troops, hold on.
Disembarking under fire, man.
I heal for those troops.
Alright, I'm doing my job as the tank. Anyway, so these guys are carrying... Actually, let's go take a look at them. By the way, we fixed the audio for pause. It's no longer going to keep doing engine noises and stuff when you pause the game. These guys are carrying HKG3s. They have steel pot helmets, West German uniforms. They're still carrying laws in this dev build. That's not a final piece of equipment, but I just want to get a look at the front of the M113 really quick here. It has a set of West German equipment, including the headlamps and that sort of thing. It's got a set of smoke launchers that are different from the American ones. It's got that very obvious 7.62 caliber light or medium machine gun on the top instead of a 50 cal. It's pretty cool. It's an interesting little side path in M113 variants.
I sort of wish we could do that mount that the MG3 is on. Is actually really cool. It's like a scarf ring, more or less. They're really, really cool in real life, but I don't think there's a way to portray that in a game super well.
Yeah, it's a little challenging, the rigging of it. I'm just gonna go through because these guys can move. As we know from my previous stream, it's actually kind of difficult to run over the troops. It's probably bad etiquette, but it's a video game, so. Alright, I've restocked quite a bit. I'm gonna get more Sabo though. We've got 2 ammo racks. There's a giant rack in the front of the hull, and there's a ready rack in the turret. If this thing gets hit anywhere on this left side, it's going up like a fireball. And if it gets hit anywhere else, the crew are dead, so try not to get hit in the Leopard 1. That's the moral of the story. Since I took all these guys out ahead of time, I don't have to worry about RKGs, but if you've played the current update of GHPC, you know that there are anti-tank grenades now. We didn't have that last stream, so if you get really close to an entrenchment that has packed troops in it, they'll throw these RKG grenades. They have a heat warhead and a parachute to get them oriented, and if they hit your tank, it's bad news. Definitely stay away from the trenches if you haven't killed them. So, since this is a frontal assault, I cannot rely on the speed of the Leopard as much as I'd like to. I'm gonna put my platoon in echelon left, because I know the threat can be from this arc. If we get in too much of a hairy situation with this hill... Oh, we're taking fire. Then I may try... You know what? Let's reorient. If I'm taking fire and I can't see them yet, it's not a good time to stay around. This tank has a nice reverse speed. I think it can go almost as fast in reverse as it... No, first 2 gears it can go as fast in reverse as forward, right?
Yeah, it's only got 2 reverse gears. I think the Leopard 2 has more reverse gears or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the opportunity to go do a little bit of flanking. Let's try to get some speed. Yeah, there's definitely enemy out here.
You got me on all kinds of wrong range setting when you actually want to shoot.
Yeah, and I also have heat loaded. You know what? Let's pre-range. Let's not be stupid about this.
Did you mix in Soviets on enemy tank?
I didn't. I should have, because we have Soviet infantry as well. I'll do that next round.
Should try and catch some reloading at some point too.
I will. I'll load up, maybe I'll do Valley next and take it easy and use the free cam. Come on. Where are you? There he is. I'm gonna try to drop one over the hill. I don't know if that worked. Ooh. That looked like a hit of some kind. Let's move around here. We're taking green tracers, that's small arms. Now you might be thinking, I've played GHPC and there are no green tracers. That's right. Now there are. Some of the Soviet small arms use different tracer colors. I imagine if we find reliable info on other tracers, we'll adjust those as well, but for now we've got some green ones. Alright. This is a bad place to be. I'm overranged. Alright, so I've made a critical error. I got in range of a set of KPVs without any really nice armor on this vehicle. Yeah, it's not great.
It should be okay against the KPV from front.
From chat, but you can back the hell up real fast.
You sure can. But it would be better if I had not gotten in that situation. Alright, you can hear the
You're showing your
MG3s.
side to it. You're showing your side.
That's okay, I'm gonna rely on
Alright.
the old blinding speed here.
Fast boys.
Yeah. I can hear the MG3s going in the distance, which means I need to get back in there and support the troops as fast as possible. No, not Schutzen, I need the APC. There's one in this side. I'm gonna preemptively call Cass, because I think there's tanks coming. Oh, he's still alive? That's no good. That was heat. Let's see if we can get a HESH shot on the next one. Ooh, I think my guy just took an RPG. Yep, there's still a KPV up.
Your boy's getting slammed.
He is getting slammed. He's still alive. I think he's immobilized though.
He's just slowly getting chewed by that thing.
Yep. I gotta go find out who. I'm probably gonna get RPG'd. See, what I do is I play poorly so that you guys can play better and show me how it's done.
Prove me wrong, children. Prove me wrong.
I just took... Yep, that'll be him.
He's gonna get you, dude.
He already got a good shot off. I think I got him. I'm losing crew now.
What did I hit you with?
RPG.
Balls of steel to still be
There he
running.
is.
I got him.
I think this didn't go as well as it should have.
Did you not support the troops?
You know, that is an easy mistake. I'm suspicious that my guys are also taking fire from over here.
Strangely, the tin tank survived. That's because it was played by one action scripter.
I tend to fail upward. Alright. Enough about that. Let's pop a HESH shot into this BTR, just so I can get it in the after action. Let's do a couple actually, see if we can get some angles going. Oh, my loader's wounded. Well, never
You're on
mind
the
that.
Aberdeen proving grounds right now, man. You just made your own Aberdeen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we took a lot of losses. What happened was, fun fact, when it says support the troops, and then you don't support the troops, you lose the mission.
You had one job,
Yep.
alright?
We fired a lot of ammo, for what that's worth, which is nothing. Alright, so the DM-23 did its job. I'm trying to find... Here we go, one of my guys shot. Okay, so here's an example of HESH, why it's not a one-size-fits-all god round. If you look at the damage text in the top right, and you should be able to actually read it this time because I got my stream running in 1080. it was stopped by the plate because of raw penetration. It can't get through, but it blasted off an armor scab, which went. You see that all that high energy spall that's going kind of upward, the yellow, that is directed normal to the plate. It's in the perpendicular direction to the plate. So if the plate's like this, the spall is going, the round hits, the spall goes in at a right angle to the plate. That missed anything of importance because of the way this plate is set up. If that was a heat round, it would have gone mostly straight in and hit the gearbox. Yeah, so heat's still effective if it fuses, which unfortunately the DM12 is a copy of the M456. I don't believe it has a shoulder fuse, so this is a lucky detonation. Sometimes it fails. Let me find that other shot that I did with the HESH. Here we go. So this was, we'll check out my commander. I unfortunately did not protect my side and I got RPG'd. Twice. I really did not make a good showing on tactics for this one. So this one just straight up didn't detonate properly. Interesting. Alright, let's run another one. Let's do, what do you think? West Germany versus Soviets, and then watch the troops?
Sure.
Sounds good.
If we got any good questions while I was doing that?
No, only bad ones.
Only
No, not that many
mediocre
questions,
ones.
strangely. Lots
Yeah.
of comments, not that many questions.
I'll do a different Leopard variant. We can talk about the variants a little bit.
No, you
Other
cannot see the night optics for the Leopard, not yet. Not really yet.
Let's see. I want to do Valley. We'll do the A4 this time. And we'll do Soviets. So this is a kind of a dev build. This doesn't have all the stuff that's coming. We have some mission content planned and possibly some other things. We try not to be too specific ahead of time. That's our philosophy overall, is we don't really enumerate what's coming. We just release it when it's ready. So we're comfortable enough with the fact that the Leopard A1 family is arriving to show it off on stream. The rest of the stuff is still cooking, or it's ready but it's not in a build yet, and you'll find out next update. Okay, so what are we looking at here? This is the Leopard A1A4, if I'm not mistaken. And aside from the paint job, this has the PZB 200, is it called? The little thing there that looks like a fan inside of a cage. That's actually a night sight. It is an intensifier type night sight. It's not thermal. This vehicle equipment is roughly at parity with the M60A1 in that it has an optical rangefinder, an intensifier, night vision sight, and a 105mm gun. But it doesn't share many characteristics other than that. What's interesting about this tank, aside from the new paint job and the sight area?
Nothing. It's got radios.
That's right.
That's
the radio version changed a little bit. So the A1 through A4 variants of the Leopard A1 were not a lot different from each other, at least in the ways that resolve in GHPC. There is some interesting timeline stuff, like the fact that they started applying this tricolor woodland paint This is actually pre-Kark paint, if I remember correctly. So the chemical resistant tritone paint that everybody knows from the M1A1 and the Leopard 2, that wasn't standardized yet, or they were still rolling it out. So they sometimes applied this camo scheme anyway on the later variants of the Leopard 1. And we've reflected that in game by giving the, what was it, the A3 and the A4 get the woodland tritone?
Yeah, A3 and A4. A3, A4 is when they got the new radios. So, a rundown. People will ask about all the versions of this thing. They're very, very uninteresting in their differences. A1, A4 has a night sight and a new radio. A1, A3 has just a new radio. A1, A2 has just a new night sight, and A1, A1 has neither of those upgrades. So it's a pretty there's some little there's a few little wrinkles of differences. Like you'll look at some of the exterior features and stuff. Like the later variants will often have a higher chance of getting later variant parts that were in different production batches and stuff like that. None of it particularly functional. It's all cosmetic because that's what they did. We have reasoned that the radio upgrade happened very, very close to at the same time as they started painting it in tricolor. So we've taken the radio upgrade to be depicted with the tricolor, and the actual antennas are very, very slightly different. You can have fun picking that difference out yourself.
Yeah, I still actually haven't looked closely at the antennas of each variant, but yeah, I'm told that they changed slightly, so there you go.
It's barely noticeable.
Alright, enough about that. Let's get this fight rolling. I want to get them shooting at each other so that we can see somebody reloading. Does the number plate on the back mean anything? Yes, it's a license plate. That's it.
It means something to some bureaucracy.
It's actually, if I didn't have my tank properly registered, we wouldn't be able to win this battle, so it's very important. Alright, let's do some range finding here.
Barry, is that the NATO unit marking on the back as well?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They do need some little numbers next to those for which formation they're in. That's okay.
Nice. Wait, stop the battle. I have to renew my registration.
I forgot about the smoke.
Oh, look at him reversing, man.
You love to see it.
Guy slammed on the brakes.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a different angle. Because I can. Because this thing is fast. Interesting thing about the Leopard 1 is it's not fast anymore in the mid-80s because the other tanks, the Abrams and such, exist. So it doesn't feel as quick as it was when it was new.
So is that only with respect to other NATO vehicles? Are there packed vehicles that are just as fast?
T-80 is pretty quick.
Leopard's pretty solid for the time. They had a lot of kit on them in the 70s, which was not common in NATO forces generally. But the game is set in the 80s, so you're just gonna have to suck it up.
One of the very few devs I'm glad I've supported. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, we certainly aim to do our best.
Will West Germans have different callouts? Not really. I mean, it's the same language. They have very, very slightly different command flow. Right now, we're just using the NBA command flow because
Yeah.
it's a lot easier.
Right now, there's the German command flow is kind of placeholder because we don't have all of the lines we need to do the east versus west commands properly. At some point, that will change. We don't have enough bandwidth to both make all the stuff and handle the voices at the same time, but we will in the future, as far as I'm aware.
It does have a backup site.
It does. Let me see if I can pull it up, actually. Yeah. Oh. Nope, don't want that. So the backup site is pretty zoomed in. I still have to check on that, but the way it works is it has these range scales. Oh, what? It seems like it's frozen. Never mind. It's supposed to have range scales that move. Kind of like a T55 situation, or a BMP2 might be a better analog. The reticle that was way up at the top there, it slides down the sight as you increase the range, and that makes you... it's kind of contra-rotating to the gun. But you have to see it. By the time it comes out, that'll be fixed up and you'll be able to try it out for yourself. But it's a very interesting combination of multiple range scales and fire control system adjustment. Alright, I need the assault to begin so I can actually see the troops. Reloading. That might take a minute, so we can do a little bit of Q&A while we're waiting. There they are. These are just bog standard M113s, aside from the fact that they have equipment variations for West Germany. There's let's actually go take a look at them. There's those new camo net models as well, and those are kind of cool.
They should be in the bustle racks of the Leopards as well.
Yeah. I have a feeling they're waiting for a... Yeah, they're waiting for me to hit that marker before they advance. I should do that first. So the German ammunition numbering is a little confusing. They use the same base designations for multiple calibers. So there's a DM23 and a DM13 for 105mm. Those are not the same ammo as the 120mm ammo, which shares the same name. DM13 105mm is this kind of awful APDS round that's well obsolete by the 80s, but they were still using it in their stocks. DM13 120mm is a beast of a round, probably going to be one of the best in the game. There we go. So the APCs are moving up. I will stage my tank here. And we'll wait for the infantry confrontation. That ammo rack looks like it wants you to shoot it, yes. Leopard 1 is not going to be tanking a lot of anything, really. Anything higher than a heavy machine gun is going to be a threat. Actually, can it even resist 50 from the side? I'm not sure.
Probably from a little bit distant. From really close, you'd probably get through. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it.
Yeah, it's not great by tank standards, the armor. It was wasn't it developed right when heat rounds were proliferating and everybody was like, oh, we might as well just not armor anything then if it's not going to work, and they went for speed instead.
Well, Speed and everything else. Like, for its time, it was like, do everything else really well and don't. This is when people were like, let's not do heavy tanks anymore, basically. You need to run that MG3, man.
I do. Alright.
They're getting out.
So how do I run this? I think... Oh, I can't control the M113s. I was gonna say I should pull the M113s back so they don't suppress the troops too much. But, see if we can get them to fight anyway. Might take a minute. I just want to see the... You know, I should have done Dancing Devils. It would have been a scrum by now. Yeah, there's already casualties. If we can get these guys to survive long enough to have to reload, then we'll see what I'm trying to show. These are AK-74s. I think these are just the base model, because if it had the side rail, it would be an upgrade one, but I don't think they have a side rail.
They're not holding the grip. We can fix that.
Yeah, it's just, we'll nudge that.
Fix it in
Whatever.
post.
That's right. We'll go edit the stream video just for that. But they're wearing Soviet kit. They're shooting 5.45 millimeter AK-74s. Not that it makes much difference. And yeah, that guy took a hit. Look at the blood soaking into the uniform. Still hasn't fired off a full mag. Let's see if he survives long enough. Nope. He did not. Okay, let's see if there's anybody else. Perhaps this fine fellow will accomplish it. You can see the massive assault taking place in the background. Oh, apparently my tanks are getting involved too. What's he looking at? Is there infantry here? Yeah, he just took out the... Oh! There we go. Reloads are real. I was at the wrong angle for it, but... Let's go check these guys.
Good job, Ton, our animator.
Alright, well, I don't think these guys will be doing any reloading for us today.
They'll walk it off.
Insert the one joke about troops taking damage.
Yep.
The only joke that anyone ever makes.
Is there any difference between the troops kit? The rifles all have slightly different performance. I think the helmets at the moment are pretty much all doing the same level of protection.
Yeah, they're all doing basic frag protection. They're not going to stop bullets unless it's an extremely... Oh, right in the head. Unless it's an extremely lucky hit. These guys have already taken injury. Oh, the RPG warheads, right. They are now reflecting the actual ammo that's loaded. So before we had a generic PG-7 on the model, these guys are running PG-7 VL, so they have this big, smooth warhead. And if we ever equip some of them with the V or the VM, then that would be reflected as well. For now, everybody's running VL because that was the latest standard at the time. Just want to see one more reload. Do we have any interesting questions in the meantime?
I want to see an RPG reload.
It would be cool to see an RPG reload. I think I can probably... Oh. Just need this guy to get 30 rounds off so I can... I think his helmet deflected one.
It did.
If he reloads, he's going to crouch and you're not going to see it because of your camera positioning.
That's probably
Just-
true. I should run Dancing Devils, or I should run this one and just plow ahead with one tank so that we can see. Oh.
Oh, here we go, baby.
Yeah.
Take the shot. Yeah. Ah, now did anyone notice the hammer?
Oh, for his trouble. Oh my god. Well, his helmet's gone.
He died doing what he loved.
I'm not sure if he did. There's still shooting going on. I hear the music, that means I won the mission. Yeah, they're trying to mop up the survivors. Where is this guy? He's probably hiding in the grass somewhere. Yeah, there he is. He's pinned. Anyway. So yeah, there's reloads. Not that it matters much, but if you watch them closely, you'll see that detail. It's fun. Is he gonna get away with it? I don't know if they still see him.
This is a Mountain Blade game, man. This is a retreating guy in Mountain Blade.
That's true.
He's gonna disappear real soon.
Mm-hmm. I think he's probably gonna cross into an MG3 slate line. Oh, he's gonna take a shot. Is he?
So anyway, I started blasting.
Yep. He's not going down easy.
He had the opportunity to leave.
Who's he shooting at? There's probably someone over here. Anyway, what do you think? We should run one more?
I think we got time for one more.
We got time to maybe do questions and after action review. Actually, you know what? I'll park the camera on the Leopard so we can, because we only have a few minutes left. Someone said devils in the chat. We think we have time for a little bit of Dancing Devils, maybe.
Do it. Can troops surrender? They cannot. They're in it for the long haul.
Well, sometimes not very long.
Well,
All right.
Long enough.
Long enough. Have we showed off any other West German vehicles other than the Leo A1A1? That M113, if you count that. There is a spreadsheet that we maintain that shows all the vehicles we've publicly revealed, and it has entries for the Marder 1 and the Leopard 2, but it doesn't have clear pictures yet. So we've confirmed intent to release those. Here's what's going on. Just like when we released the Soviets, we're only doing a small set of the vehicles at a time. It's not going to be all of them at once. We're starting off with the Leopard 1A1 family and the M113 German version. As we continue releasing more updates, we will eventually have the others that we've promised, including the Leopard 2 and the Marder 1. I think we have some other stuff cooking that we haven't named yet, so there will eventually be a full suite of West German vehicles, and that will conclude the forces of GHPC, the 4 players. West Germany was the last one. We're now in that phase. We're at that stage where we're finishing with them, and after that it'll all be features. I should also make a note, optimization is on the table. It is one of our focuses now. We can't always devote the same amount of time to new stuff and fixing up old stuff. Pardon me. New stuff and old stuff have to kind of share time when we split up our workload. We do have more time devoted to optimization in the upcoming patches though. So hopefully that'll make a big impact. Obviously, you know, we play our own game. We know that there are issues still. It's early access for a reason. It's not done. Once we have everything fixed up and we're proud of where it's at, then we'll hit 1.0 release. But until then, if you choose to be an early adopter and deal with the quirks and take it for what it is, then we appreciate your support, and we won't let you down.
How can people support us?
You can support us by buying the game on Steam. And if you want to go above and beyond, you can join the Patreon, although that's just kind of a bonus. That gets
Buy the
you...
game for your friend.
Buy the game for your friend, that's a good one too.
Make a friend and then buy it for them.
Let's not give them any impossible tasks here. But yeah, the best thing you can do is buy the game and show other people the game so they buy it.
Yeah.
Because there's no gimmick here. This really is just you buy the game and we use the money to build the game. There's no microtransactions, no premium loot box stuff. It's just straight up one-to-one deal. So if people stop buying the game, then we stop being able to make it, and nobody wants that.
If you already have the game, please consider leaving us a good review on Steam. That helps a lot in sharing us on that platform. And
As long as it's honest. It must be an honest
Yeah, leave an honest review.
Of course.
I have a distaste for dishonest reviews, whether they're positive or negative. I want to see what people actually think. And I think others do as well, who are thinking about buying the game.
Well, if they're liking the game, they're probably going to leave an honest review in that regard. But and alongside the Patreon, there's a link pinned in the chat for it. And you can also hit up gunnerheatpc.com for links to all of our stuff, including our community Discord, where we interact with a lot of folks pretty regularly and show off new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you're broke, just tell people about the game. That really helps as well.
It does, yeah.
Yep.
We don't want anybody to suffer on our behalf. Just be responsible with your funds, but if you have the income and you want to support, then we're grateful for it. Also, I should mention, don't buy the game on a key reselling site. That money does not go to us. Those are criminals, and it's better to just pirate the game than to do that if you're not going to buy it on Steam. So I want to make that clear. Don't do, oh, if I gave them half the money, it's like, nope, that doesn't go to us. Don't do it. All right. Let's get this GHPC mugs and shirts would go hard. I've got great news for you, brother. GHPC mugs and shirts are available on the merch link, which is on, I believe, gunnerheatpc.com, as well as in the Discord. If you would like to pick some, actually, you know what? If you would like to pick up a shirt or something, then go ahead and check that out. I have a couple of them myself. I like them. Insider knowledge, thanks for the donation. Much appreciated. That also goes to development, but it's a less common way of supporting. I think the dev build might have an issue here, so I'm going to back out of this mission load. The risk we take when showing unreleased content on stream is that it will not work correctly. So this appears to be one of those instances. And now we are out of time. But we showed off the beginning of West Germany. This is coming in the next update. I can't give you a date, unfortunately. We don't do dates for updates. I will say that it's going to be soon, and it's going to be sooner than it was when I said soon last time for infantry. Last time I said infantry was coming soon after the stream, and it was another, what was it, another month at least? Something like that. It's not going to be like that this time. We're trying to keep the pace up. Infantry was a big lift. This is also a big lift, but not as complicated as that was. So just keep an eye out. It'll be ready when it's ready, and we hope you guys will enjoy it. I am going to hop over to the Discord where we are doing a Q&A for patrons. That is a thing that we do every month, even if there's no stream that month. And anyone who joins that will be able to say or ask whatever they want to us on voice within reason. And we are pretty candid about what's going on in those. So if you're interested and you've got the money to support, definitely get involved in those too. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in 2 months.
Bye-bye.